Every time I hear about electric cars, I see people arguing whether they are environment friendly as compared to gasoline vehicles, whether they are more efficient than the gas driven vehicles. So I thought of finding out the truth, and the outcome did eventually surprise me. Hey guys, this is Piyush from TMT. Let's get started. Now these categories help me understand the impacts on the environment: fuel source, car manufacturing, fuel efficiency. First, let's look at some of the things which make electric cars detrimental to the environment. Let's start with the most important one: battery. One of the biggest arguments against EVs is the battery production, as it has many adverse impacts on the environment than, let's say, production of gasoline cars. Is that true? Yes, because one of the elements used in battery production is lithium, which needs to be mined, and mining produces tons of greenhouse gases. This number will only grow with the increase in number of production of EVs, unless the manufacturing process improves over the period of time with better technological advancements. It takes around 2 to 17 metric tons of CO2 to produce an EV, depending on whether it is a shorter range or a longer range capability EV. While a conventional gasoline car produces around 7 metric tons of CO2. Now, why does a battery production have such a huge impact on environment? More than half of the world's lithium supply comes from a lithium triangle. It takes almost 750 tons of brine to produce just 1 ton of lithium. And the crazy part is lithium makes less than 10% of the overall composition of batteries. Another important element in the battery is cobalt, which has its own concerns from the human rights standpoint. So let's not go there to spark the debate. Also, the recycling of the batteries is going to be a big mess, as we don't have established processes in today's time. Another element where the industry will face challenges in storage of lithium-ion batteries, as they contain volatile material. We have seen incidences of batteries catching a fire, and with the increasing volume, there may be a situation where the incidences are increasing. Now, with the new technological advancements in the battery manufacturing, these issues might not be existent in future. One more factor in EVs, the electricity required for charging of the vehicle is still being generated from non-renewable energy sources. What that means is whenever we are using the electric car, it's still sucking up natural resources. Now with the time, when we start using more renewable energy sources, the EV will still become even more efficient than what it is today. Now let's look at manufacturing of gasoline cars versus EVs. On an average, manufacturing of a gasoline car will generate around 7 metric ton of CO2, and that includes right from mining till the production till the delivery of the vehicle at your place. Now this is much lower as compared to EVs, as it lacks any of the battery elements. The conventional auto industry has also come a long way in terms of efficiency and productivity as compared to EV manufacturing. While running, gasoline cars generate 5 metric tons of CO2 per year, and during their lifetime they generate almost around 50 metric tons of CO2. Now if we consider 7 metric tons which they generate during manufacturing and then 50 metric tons they generate during usage, a gasoline car will generate almost 57 metric tons of CO2 during their lifespan. Now if we compare it with EVs, they are almost at a half number when it comes to generation of CO2. Now, considering the power plants generating electricity to charge the EVs, an average EV will become efficient than gasoline vehicle between 6 to 18 months depending on which EV you buy. So if we consider the least efficient EV with the least efficient electric power plants and compare it with the most efficient gasoline vehicle, an EV will still be better for environment than gasoline car. Imagine if EVs use the cleaner sources of energy such as solar, wind to charge their batteries. It will make environment even more cleaner. Now with all these considerations, I think it's safe to say EVs are better than gasoline cars when it comes to fuel efficiency and environment. And they will keep getting better as more technological advancements are made. Speaking about India, we have very few options to choose from and the cost of buying them is still on the higher side. Also, as we are new to this whole charging of vehicle thing versus refueling, the range of EVs are going to make people nervous for longer journeys. I am sure it will go away once the network of charging stations improve. And so does the charging time with super fast charge tech coming up. Now today, if you look at options in India, we have 5 cars. First is Tata Nexon, second is MG ZS EV, then we have Mahindra E2O Plus, then we have Hyundai Kona Electric, and then we have Tata Tigor EV. Now if we compare the battery capacities and range, the top 3 cars would be MG ZS EV, which has a battery capacity of 44.5 kilowatt hours. The range is 340 kilometers and the charging time is around 6 to 8 hours. While the Tata Nexon EV has battery of 30.2 kilowatt hour and the range is 312 kilometers, while the charging time is around 8 hours. Now if we compare it with Hyundai Kona, then the battery capacity for Kona is 39 kilowatt hours, the range is almost 450 kilometers and charging time is around 6 hours. Now if we compare with the remaining 2 cars, which are Tata Tigor and Mahindra E-Verito, they have very minimal range. It's almost 140 to 180 kilometers and the costs are also not on the lower side. They charge around 10 to 11 lakhs depending on which car you buy. So be it EV or a gasoline vehicle, they both have merits and demerits. For me, I will always want to buy an EV as they are fun to drive, better for environment and does not suck into natural resources as bad as gasoline vehicles. Which car do you think makes more sense to you? Let me know in the comment section below. Also subscribe to our channel to see our upcoming videos. This is Piyush signing off. See you in the next one.